Now the next keynote address, the next presentation will be done by Dr. Namal Jayawardena from Sri Lanka, IIM. He is a senior lecturer with the Department of Kaya Chikitsa and Desi Chikitsa of IIM of University of Colombo, and he is a MD Ayurveda from BHU. He also holds qualification in yoga from BHU, and over the years, Dr. Namal has presented numerous research papers on diverse topics at various conferences at BHU and NIA. Dr. Namal Jayawardena will present on the role of Arogya Vardhani and other herbal mineral medicines in liver diseases.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected chairperson, my dear teacher, Professor Tissera sir, and all the members of the desk, and all the delegates from India and Sri Lanka. And actually, this is a great opportunity to me as a junior member of Ayurveda, standing in front of you. Most of the teachers of my undergraduate level, and there are so many colleagues and students also. And actually, today my topic is the role of Arogya Vardhani and other herbal mineral medicines in liver diseases. Actually, this is a great task to do, because most of the Ayurvedic field, most of the practice of Ayurveda, we get some blame from other outsiders that our medicines are mostly toxin products to the liver diseases. In this situation, we have to do something to overcome these problems. That's why I am doing some research works, and my MD research and everything I followed under the liver diseases. In this presentation, I am doing some explanation of the liver disease in brief, and the treatment availabilities, and the perspective of Ayurveda treatment, and the serious strictures and induce, and evidences for the sustainability of the treatment of the liver diseases. And this is the rationale of Ayurveda and the Rasa Shastra. No need to explain much more things. Everybody knows, as Ayurveda practitioners, the rationale of Ayurveda and the Rasa Shastra. And the thing is, we need to do something more in future. That is Ayurveda today for managing tomorrow. And my major topic is the liver disease. Actually, liver is the major organ, one of the major organs in our body, and the liver disease occurs throughout the world, irrespective of age, sex, and region or race. Everybody in childhood to in elder age, everybody can get diseases of the liver. And the cirrhosis is an end result of the variety of liver diseases. The end result is the cirrhosis. And in the beginning, we get some smaller diseases, such as the fatty liver disease likewise, but the end result is the cirrhosis, characterized by the fibrosis and architectural restoration of the liver, and also the formation of regeneration nodules, and can have varied clinical manifestations and complications. And actually, this is the global burden of the disease, a true burden on health sciences and the economics too. Not only the health, but it also the burden of the economics. The global perspective of liver diseases. According to the WHO, about 46 of the global diseases and 59% of the mortality is because of the chronic diseases. The liver disease rates are situated steadily increasing over the year. That means the progressive, the liver disease are highly progressive in even the developed countries and also the developing countries. Liver diseases have been ranked as fifth most common cause of the death. You can see the mortality rate, the fifth most common causes of the death. Total deaths worldwide from the cirrhosis and liver cancer rose by 50 million per year over 2 decades. That is very high rates. Liver diseases are recognized as the second leading cause of the mortality among the all digestive diseases. Actually, liver disease under the hepatobiliary diseases, the second leading cause of the mortality of the digestive diseases. And WHO says that we are now increasingly recognizing that this is the substantial contributor to the global mortality. Causative causes. There are so many causative factors for the liver diseases, and those are, I here mention some diseases. Especially we have to focus on the liver diseases when we are going to treat. The first one is the liver cirrhosis. The global prevalence of the liver cirrhosis. Actually, the alcohol, NaSH, and viral hepatitis currently are the most common causes of the liver cirrhosis. And during 2001, the estimated worldwide mortality from cirrhosis was 771,000 people, ranking 14th and 10th as the leading cause of the death in the world and the developing countries respectively. That is a higher number of mortality rate in the under the liver diseases. Deaths from the cirrhosis have been estimated to the increase and would make it as the 12th leading cause of the death in 2020. Now they ranked in 2020 the 12th leading causative factor for the causative factor is the liver disease. And the second one is the hepatocellular carcinoma, now freely available in Sri Lanka. It can be the primary hepatocellular carcinoma, or otherwise it can be the secondary one. Cirrhosis is well recognized as the main cause of the hepatocellular carcinoma, and annual global incidence of over 500,000. The most of the patients are not, we can't see that that patient is having hepatocellular carcinoma or any other liver diseases in initially, but after having some period, after having some unnecessary treatments, that people finally finally shows their symptoms and signs in the mostly in the end stage. The incidence has been steadily rising at an alarming rate, making hepatocellular carcinoma the 5th most common cancer in men and the 7th most common cancer in women. It is likely to contribute approximately 5.6 of human cancers, with the predict increasing in burden through 2020. And hepatocellular carcinoma, almost 85% of occurs in the developing world. Actually, in Sri Lanka also now in our health ministry statistics shows the most of the cancers, especially the third most one, the leading one is hepatocellular carcinoma. And hepatitis C virus related hepatocellular carcinoma is the fast rising cause of the cancer. Actually, in especially in India, the hepatitis C virus and hepatitis B virus, they are the leading causative factors for the hepatocellular carcinoma. It accounts for the 70% to 85% of primary liver cancers. And recently study from India, they shows liver cancer was recognized as the fourth most common cancer in the male and accounted for 37 of the infection-related cancer in female. And the hepatocellular carcinoma is now freely available in developing countries and South Asian countries. And the third one is the NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, and is liver inflammation and damage caused by the buildup of fat in the liver. Actually, simple way we are calling the fatty liver condition. And burden of obesity has been steadily increasing with an estimate of 1 billion people reported as overweight. This overweight condition is supportive for the fatty liver condition. And prevalence from the China, India, Japan, and Sri Lanka have been reported progressively increase in this fatty liver condition. Then we have to address this liver condition through the Ayurvedic medicines. And the fatty liver condition have reduced quality of life, which was more pronounced in patients who had underlying cirrhosis, diabetes, and obesity. Actually, the fatty liver condition freely available in Sri Lanka nowadays, but the thing is, no any single drugs from the Western medicine, but we have several medicines. In future, I will explain some of these. And the major problem is quality of life of the individual get worse in this fatty liver condition. And the health impact of the main risk factors, there are so many risk factors, and I am mentioning some few of these. Physical inactivity and the vegetable consumptions, obese and overweight, and the blood pressure and cholesterol are the most risk factors for the people dying from these diseases. And the statistical proven by the WHO in Sri Lanka, cirrhosis of the liver, now it is getting more progressive and more increasing prevalence, and cancer and the other infectious diseases are more common in the liver diseases. Not only the Sri Lanka, the India also in same situation, in same problem. The most of the female patients are reported in India than the male, and non-communicable diseases, cancers, and the other communicable diseases also showing more in liver diseases. And the Millennium Development Goals and the burden of the liver disease. Actually, in Sri Lanka, they identified 44 millennium indicators, and out of these 44 indicators, only 27 goals they targeted, but they achieved only 13. In these 13 Millennium Development Goals, there is no any contribution for the diseases. Because of that, you can see the graph. Some of the diseases get and the below, the light blue one is the liver diseases. Actually, it is rising slowly but steadily. Now, still we don't have any result to cure these liver diseases. And liver diseases, now we need to prevent in the liver diseases. It is a vital investment for us. There are so many options to prevent liver diseases, and the most valuable and most necessary one is the collaborative support for the preventive disease. Actually, no need to have the specific color, specific field to address the liver diseases. We need the collaborative support. In Western medicine, they are doing several practices, conservative practices and medical, and finally they are doing the surgical, that liver transplantation. And but the thing is, they don't have even any single medicine to cure the liver diseases. Inadequate access to the cure of the liver diseases. And but we are facing the dire choice, because most of the people, most of the outside peoples from Ayurveda, they are saying that our Ayurveda treatments are very harmful to the liver diseases. Because of that, we have to have a big task to address the liver diseases. But the thing is, liver power, hepatoprotective plants and the hepatoprotective herbal mineral preparations are available in Ayurveda classical texts to prevent these liver diseases. Herbal mineral approach to achieve total health. Now we have to turn it back to the right way. The Ayurveda pharmaceuticals, there are so many pharmaceuticals. In the holistic approach of the Ayurveda therapy, actually we are acceptance by the community. Actually, community get acceptance, but some limitations are there. And the other thing is the holistic concept of the health in Ayurveda and the individualized approach. Likewise, there are so many approaches in Ayurveda therapy. And time factor is very limited. And herbal and herbal mineral preparations, they are the main factors, main way to cure this Ayurveda treatment nowadays and the future also. The Rasa Shastra, however, provides the genuine solution. Especially the ideal drug in Ayurveda therapy, the poisoning power does not act as a wonder drug, while an effective drug in higher dose acts as a poison. We can use the poisonous drugs, we can use the rasa medicines for the liver diseases, but in the incorrect dosage form. But the most of the blame we get from, we are using simple medications, simple drugs to any other diseases, but in higher doses or any wrong ways, that get the harmful or the poisonous way to the liver diseases. Those are some scientific proven of the Rasa Aushadha, and no need to explain those things. And special significance of Rasa preparations, we are doing the Shodhana and Marana for the purification of the Rasa preparation, and these are some published articles to prove the Rasa preparations are not harmful for the liver diseases, as well as they are most safety and efficacy drugs for the all the disease conditions. The other thing is some media persons and the media and the other community members, they are blaming to us in each and every way that all the Rasa preparation and other Ayurveda herbal preparations get harmful for the human being. And those are some examples. The first one from the India. And the second one, cardiotoxicity from safe herbal formulations. They mention safe under the specific form. Ideal identification, those are some examples that published in the journals. And finally, I am saying that the Nishalahu Churna, that font is not available in this computer. Nishalahu Churna, one of the medicine that I have done in my MD. It contains seven ingredients, and it contained the Shuddha Lahu Bhashma 2 for the liver diseases, actually for the Kamala, and the other one is Devadali Nasya. Those are the The first one is the hepatomegaly effectiveness of the Nishalava Churna, and the second one, the SGPT and SGOT levels. And I have done the serum creatinine level and other things for the safety, for the proven of the safety use. And finally, the WHO people, the contribution of the World Health Organization in the global acceptance of Ayurveda, they are doing something. But the thing is, we have to get the opportunity to do the Ayurveda treatment with the Rasa Aushadha for the liver diseases now. Okay, then thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present the Rasa Aushadha is much more beneficial for the liver diseases. Thank you.